Welcome to the forlightpodcast, your weekly podcast for all things gaming, gaming news, and all things entertainment related. I'm your host for this evening, Aiden, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
I'm Leighton.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm David.
Alrighty, just to start us off for this evening, we have just a little bit of housekeeping. You can find us anywhere you stream podcasts, on Twitch at 9:30 Eastern on Sundays, and we have fully edited videos coming up around noontime Saturdays every week. That Ethan works very hard on.
Did that happen this week?
Just me. No. We were going to do Hollow Knight. We have a Hollow Knight rerun that is going to be up at some point, but
Yeah, we owe it to Gray.
What happened?
this week was awful for work. I think for all of us.
All of us got slammed.
Guys, just
What happened
for a bit of
this week?
context, I have to memorize 500 veins and arteries in the body. That is...
I had to make a LinkedIn
Comical.
profile.
I had to play For Honor for like 5 hours straight.
Dude, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work.
hard.
Actually, you know what
I
was
got
a lot of work?
slammed.
I got slammed
D&D
too.
for 5 hours last night.
Actually, that was sick.
That
was
so
awesome, and I
awesome,
really
though.
enjoyed it, and it was great.
We should do D&D streams. Like
The only
one-shot
thing,
streams.
the only problem about
We
that,
should do it at least once. Like a one-shot
actually, a
stream.
one-shot would be nice.
Wait, a one-shot of one-shot? Oh.
That's what I heard.
I
I
have
was
two
like, what?
entire campaigns of one-shot on deck right
I'm
now.
sure you do. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
No,
okay.
those were the campaigns I ran for my other
You
show.
should
Are
make a
there
third
any
one.
D&D adaptations, though? Like,
There's one-
seriously.
there's one coming out.
There's two.
Wait,
There's
what?
A D&D
There's a
RPG.
movie coming out.
There's actually two.
Like a-
D&D RPG and a D&D movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
wait. Weren't we
what?
supposed to introduce
Yeah,
like,
no.
some interesting things?
We'll
first?
get. We'll get
back
into
to
it.
this.
I
is
want
a
to get into that
conversation.
because that's actually really interesting.
all right.
We'll get
Oh
back
my
to
God.
So,
adaptations.
as you can tell from the title, our topic today will be gaming adaptations, specifically adaptations to movies and TV shows from video games for this first half. And if any of you want to start it off with one of our list things.
I have a quick thing just before. Some very old followers would know that we actually did talk about this topic a while ago, and it is the long forgotten
What?
episode.
episode. Is my stream?
Yeah, no. This we're gonna change it up a little bit for the second half, being like a different type of topic. But yeah,
Yeah, I'll introduce
that
later.
You'll introduce later. But let's honestly talk about D&D.
I'm actually really interested in this because I really can't think of any. Okay, well they had like a D&D show in the 80s. I know
Yeah,
about
no,
that.
There's a
And
lot
it
of
was
references.
bad. I
There's
know
a lot
it
of
was
references in
terrible.
just general areas. Like,
yeah,
so
there's
Stranger
references,
Things.
but not like any movies. Like if they had if they had like a like an Acererak movie or something like that, something about like the Demi-Liches or something like that, that would be like the
There is-
Temple of Doom or
There
something like
is a
that.
2013 movie apparently.
Really?
Aiden's
Hold
looking
the
it up right
No,
now.
it's 2023.
Did Watsy do it?
2023.
No,
Also,
it's
who?
okay. So the
Wizard of the
movie's,
Coast.
named
Oh.
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah, that's the
And
new one that's coming out.
Apparently, it's got a 95% on Google reviews.
It's
Well,
got a
it's
Rotten
not
Tomatoes.
out yet.
Well, reviewers have already had it.
Yeah, it's coming out soon.
It's
It's
coming out
two.
in
It's
March.
2 hours and 14 minutes.
That sounds
Actually, though,
sick.
that's
Have
actually
you
that's
guys-
so
have you guys
sick.
seen
Oh
the
my
clip?
god!
Forlight review
No, I haven't seen any clips of
right
it.
There's-
now. Forlight review.
We
Not
can't
of
decide
the
that right
fucking
now.
movie, but like,
I
go
thought
and
you
watch
were.
it.
Yeah,
I
no, that'd be
I
great.
thought you were saying, watch the movie right now, scrap the episode.
No.
I was like, whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
Let's just get right out of here.
I'm gonna be
Bye,
honest.
guys.
Looking at some of the images of this looks goofy as all hell.
No,
It's
they,
D&D, of
they
course
already they already put a clip out where it was like the entire party is talking to this like skeleton that's in a grave.
Is that Chris
And he's
Pine?
like,
Sorry.
I think it really is.
yeah, no, it is. That's Chris Pine.
Hey, Chris Pine's a bard. He's a bard.
Is he?
Oh my god!
Oh,
it
yeah, no,
is.
he is. Yeah.
Guys, this looks amazing.
But yeah, there's a clip where it's like you get 5 questions, and it's like legitimately one of them is like, wait, really? And it's like, that's 1. And he's like, what? Why would you ask a question like that? That's 2. And it's like the whole like gag of like that kind of thing, and it's just it's so great.
Okay, it comes out March 31st. That's right after PAX weekend. Best thing that came out of it was Vox Machina because there's been so much stuff.
And no,
Why didn't
seriously
we put
though.
that on
Actually,
here?
no. We could talk about Vox
Oh
Machina
my
right
god.
now.
Yeah, let's talk about
Vox
that a little
Machina
bit.
and just Critical Role in general has been a very inspiration for me of like how they play and how
Well,
they do stuff.
Ethan knows that I watched Vox Machina all the way through, but just their podcast episodes. I mean, I did that. That was how I spent the majority of 2017. But like,
it is a fantastic
Matt
campaign,
Mercer's an
and it's
amazing DM.
no, I can't even like. just being a DM and looking at his like how he plays and how he keeps track of people. Like that's how I like. That's the reason why like for our campaign that we played yesterday. Before we started, I went through every single person one-on-ones and made sure, except for Leighton, just a little bit. We had enough backstory, but to make sure like there was stuff and like I had a story played out that would affect it affects everybody, and it's just it was so much fun, and I think
Dude,
everyone had just a generally good
I had
time.
a fantastic time. I mean, how should I say this? It was really such an incredible experience because I haven't had a lot of time to play D&D. I did a lot of time as DMing and stuff like that, but not playing itself. And basically, my idea back then, I wasn't really going by the rule set. It was more so, I'm going to let my people fight this until I get bored about it. So,
yeah. And that's changing in the moment of being a DM is like, for example, like I had a boss that I had spent, and also just by the way, like spending 4 or 5 weeks in making a campaign and making a story and then being able to bring it to the table is just, it's so rewarding and it feels so great when especially I'm sitting at the table and David, Leighton, and Justin, one of our good friends, just all at the same time go, "That's so badass!" And I was so like happy with
about it.
excitement that
also,
they
this
took it that
dude
way.
screwed me over last night in a way which
I
I
didn't
didn't
screw you over. I've got stuff going on.
Oh no,
you know?
he did not. Okay, let me re-put this. He did not screw me over in a way.
Screwed you over emotionally.
He just emotionally blindsided me. He was the first gaslighter of all.
It's I love being able to create something like that, and like we had a character that I had wrote for legitimately probably since it's probably like a week ago, and I had been mentioning it to Aiden because he wasn't introduced until like that fight, and I'm thinking in the moment like, so what I'm gonna have him do is like he's probably gonna fight them, like screw them over, probably leave them to die, and then he'll portal out and get out of there. And then these guys just like they were doing well at first, and I was like, okay, so I still have room to like teleport out. I can like probably hit another. No, they just legit beamed him into a wall, and then just boom, 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 and he's dead. And it was
lightning, stun his goofy A.
And
stun him, make his drop
fly
his
around
weapon.
the stone pillar and stab him through with a spear.
And I could have worked
chop
out that
his
entire
arm
thing.
off.
I could have
Sick
worked out
rabbit
that
on the
entire thing and
face.
being like, oh, well, he just gets away in the end. But, like, the table, like, reading the table and being like, okay, so these guys really, like, they think they're doing well. And it would be cool to just be like, nah, he fucks you, that's it. And then leaves. But it was, like, it was such a rewarding feeling for you guys to kill him as well. And I think it was...
It
so
felt
good.
really good.
Yeah, but that classic DM trap, you make the little encounters and everybody dies to the little encounters.
Oh, yeah.
But
And then the
you
big
make the
encounters,
giant
they're
big
just
boss
like,
that's
oh,
like
yes,
this
everything
really
makes
well
sense.
written character and like this wonderful like all this time dead.
And it's also moments like the first 20 at the table, and then or like the first nat 20, and then the first nat 1, and then
my god,
the first like how do you want to do this, which David hasn't really done that before.
I've
but
never
it was
done
still
this
fun.
before, and I tried my hardest, but I could have done better. If I had thought about it more, I could have absolutely destroyed it with
it's
description.
your first time.
I think
You're
it was awesome. It was like I remember like walking up the stairs after finishing where we had left off, and it was like it was so rewarding. I'm so excited for next.
The fucking
session.
sleep last night. Oh, I hit the bed so hard after that.
I got up this morning, and I think I woke up to the alarm, and it scared the crap out of him. He said so. He was like, dude, I was having like a weird-ass nightmare, and it was like bad. And I got up, and he said that, and I remember being like, you should laugh, Ethan, but being so tired that I was just like, and then like walked out
I
of the room.
remember that too. I remember I was just like, well, that was weird.
This guy. But any other like I mean we go from D&D. I don't know.
We just went on a huge
It
side
was-
tangent.
It was, but still I like
Yeah,
talking
no,
about
it's-
that. And I like bringing that
Well, yeah,
we
I
need to
mean-
talk about Dungeons and Dragons more often because it is a big part of like what we
Wizards
do.
kind of changed their stuff though, right?
No, they were going to change their stuff, and then
It got shut
so
down.
much community backlash
Oh,
of like
yeah.
we are literally just not going to play the game the way you want us to. that they were like, okay, the OGL 1.0 is staying, it exists, and we're not taking it down, but you can use the new rule set.
Right, and it's like I feel like that makes it like okay, so we can still just talk about it and dog on them if they like,
no, we
talk
can still
about
talk.
other stuff.
No,
we should be able
we
to.
condone dogging on Wizards of the Coast. They're really bad at writing. It's a real thing that like campaigns that are not off the book modules are always better because they actually have good writing.
Yeah.
I liked Chris Strahn, but
No,
also
Chris
something.
Strahn has good writing, but you're also the one writing it.
That's fair.
Played Chris Stride.
Like if you went
One session.
by the book,
If we do that, I don't know if I can't do 2 sessions at one time and get all that down, dog.
if you
So much.
if you went by the book 100% of the time, it would be boring.
Well,
Well,
it's
that's-
good for kids and stuff.
Have you ever?
True.
You guys know Pathfinder, right?
Yeah.
Pathfinder it's like D&D but with more like constructed rule sets and things like that. Using figurines and like dice for things like that. It's really really fun for intro D&D players. Like introduction D&D players, fantastic. But Leighton, what do you think of video game adaptations?
No, yeah, no, we
to
got to get
film?
back to the actual topic.
Video game adaptations to film. I think that there's a very exciting new one coming out.
What
The
do you
Super
enlighten
Mario
us?
Brothers movie.
The best movie on the 2023
Leighton,
roster.
tell me about this.
I'm gonna call Cap. Okay.
I mean, there's not much to tell. Chris Pratt's Mario. Jack Black is Bowser.
Yeah.
I should
That's
know.
that's a great casting. I will be honest.
Oh no, Jack Black as Bowser is like perfect fit.
Yeah.
He just does it so well.
The
He plays.
One Piece is right.
Sorry.
No.
I don't really understand why they I mean, I do and I don't of why they casted Chris Pratt as Mario because he
Because
has
it's
been
funny.
in a lot of
He's-
animated things and I think Nintendo just looked at it and was like, "Oh, he
It's
must be
such
good."
a big disconnect between what, and this is a big thing you see in like all industries that are like entertainment. The disconnect between what people actually want and what the producers think they want.
Right.
Because they thought, oh my gosh, this really big famous guy is going to be voice acting one of our favorite people. Oh, but he doesn't have
The
the voice for the
yeah.
most famous character of this entire film.
I mean,
He did
I
like,
like Chris Pratt, but not for Mario.
To
No,
be
not for
honest,
Mario.
the Super Mario Super Show,
Yes.
his
Oh
his
my
voice
God,
actor was
though.
1,000 times better, even though it doesn't sound like mainstream Mario.
The Super
No,
Mario
I
Brothers
would-
Super Shot.
Actually, though, I remember watching that stuff as a kid. It was so entertaining, and like looking back on it, it's not great media,
No, it's not. It's
but I
animated shows.
enjoyed it. I thought it
It's
was
for
great.
kids.
I think what's funny about Chris Pratt though is like his animated movies at least like so Onward which one and he's like this brother and so it fits the
I
role he
did-
doesn't have to do a voice.
I really did like
And-
Onward, and that's a hot take of mine. But
His other is the Lego Movie, which is about a nonchalant, mediocre, no one cares about him. He's a regular voice character, and he's just doing his own
That's
voice.
Chris Pratt.
That's Chris
Evan
Pratt.
voices Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
yes,
I
oh, you
get-
mean
Other
Chris-
way around.
You know
But
what I
it's,
mean?
it's funny because he's using just his regular voice for a character
I
who's
didn't-
supposedly
I
like
didn't know that.
resonates
I mean-
like normal.
Also, by the way,
normally, or
that
whatever, I don't
movie
know if I
kind of
know
just
the
like broke all of the children who watched it at that time because
yeah.
it was so good.
The
was
Lego
really good.
movie was incredible, and if you look at all the details that went into it, it was awesome.
It was really
Like
good.
I didn't even realize that the wizard's staff was a broken lollipop until
didn't?
years
Oh
after.
yeah, oh
is
yeah.
The wizard, the black wizard guy with the white hair, his
in the Lego Movie.
in the Lego
Yes.
movie, his
Dude,
staff.
that movie, I watched it with him. Or no, I watched it at home. That shit is funny, and it's not
It
even
is, it's
okay.
hilarious.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
hilarious.
good.
I mean, it's kind of like
They
when
put
we watched
time and effort
we
into it.
watched the Puss in Boots movie, and all of us cracked up like
Yeah, no,
multiple
we
times.
like-
went
it's
to
like
the Puss in
watching-
Boots movie expecting like, oh, this is gonna be like a mid movie with like, we saw the animation beforehand. And I'm like, oh, this looks like some pretty cool animation. This is probably gonna be a mid movie that we're gonna be like, okay, I had an okay time, and
It
then we
looked
came
good.
out of there like, I want to watch it again.
I watched it like 4 or 5 times, and also like it's like the SpongeBob or watching any childhood animation, and then realizing afterwards like the adult jokes that are in those shows that fly over the kids' heads. And it's like I watched that back and there's like multiple things that I 100% did not get as a kid, and then there's jokes that I definitely got as a kid and was like, that was so stupid, why did I laugh at that? And then there's like the other ones that I was like, why am I laughing so hard right now? Like, oh, it's so good. It's just such a great movie.
God, I grew up on the Super Mario Super Show and stuff, to pull it back, and I honestly had a great time watching through it. I wish I could pull the DVDs back out again, but I gave them all to my cousin.
What's the Mario
cousin?
Super Show again?
Well, because he's much younger than me, so I gave because I'm not watching them consistently anymore, and I gave them all to him.
So I don't know with live action.
Yeah.
Oh,
Live action
right.
pieces, not
Yeah, no,
live
there's
action.
little
it's
live
not.
action segments.
Oh my god.
Actually,
Speaking of that, the live action Mario movies from the 90s. Have you guys seen that? Seriously, right now look up Koopa from the Mario movies.
Oh yeah, no, you showed me this. That was
I
horrifying.
feel like
Was it Koopa or a Goomba?
No, I think it was Goomba.
yeah.
They're like furry,
yeah,
right?
the Goombas.
No, they're
a
horrifying.
problem.
That's Bowser.
They're horrifying.
They're a problem.
Oh no, that's a Goomba.
Yeah, I know.
No,
They're
yeah.
like, yeah, they have the tiny heads and the huge bodies.
Why
Yeah.
does Luigi
Mostly
have
looks
his
like
hat
Jack
back?
Horner.
I never even noticed that.
Why
is
does
his
Jack
hat
Horner
there?
have fists that nearly touch the ground?
Wait,
Like his torso is massive.
Because he's a fairy tale character.
exactly.
That's
he needs to have big thumb plums. Plum thumbs.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to have arms like the size of girders.
Ugh. I think
Dude
like
is built.
I honestly I really enjoy when stuff gets done correctly.
No, if they actually put some time and effort, that's the biggest point of this section. If studios put time and effort and bring people on that know the series and know the consumer side of the series, like the little fandoms and like the Sonic movie,
Seriously,
they butchered.
I think that was also a process of the large community of Sonic and just people in general seeing trailers being like,
No.
we're not allowing this to be released. Like,
but at the same
was
time,
about
it is
stressing.
also applause to the people who are making the movie too by actually
by
changing it.
listening.
But I think
okay.
we've talked about that before. Have any of us actually watched the Sonic movie?
I
Yeah.
have not.
Yeah,
I have-
watched it.
I have not.
it's
pretty
great.
good.
It's
Yeah,
great.
it's pretty awesome.
There's also theories that they actually released that on purpose.
Yeah,
and
it's
that
a try
they
to
had
draw.
an entire thing because
mean,
it was
I could see
quick.
it.
They fixed it quick.
It was
I mean-
because it was horrifying. That original, they even made a
Ooh, my
joke
legs
about
up.
it in what did they make? The Chip and Dale project that came out for Disney. They made a joke about it. I'm like original adaptation Sonic or whatever.
You know, it's really funny because I have heard that conspiracy theory before, and I actually fully believe it. Because knowing animation stuff, that stuff's not easy to change.
Ooh, especially that quick.
No, I agree.
Like, there is absolutely no way they got that much 3D animation footage in that short
Yo.
amount of time. It was like a month turnaround.
I also want to ask you guys. So I personally haven't been watching it, but I'm a big fan of the Last of Us games. What do you guys think?
I think it's fantastic.
No, The Last of Us adaptation, the newest HBO stuff, is fucking incredible. I haven't caught
I think
up
it will-
on it yet, but it,
We haven't watched the most recent one either. There's a new one coming out that just came out right at 9. I personally believe that it will be 100% the best adaptation for Game of the Year.
it might legitimately be Game of the Year.
I don't think
adaptation.
I think Super Mario Bros will come out. Blah blah blah. Last of Us is 100%.
But we also got to think about wider audience.
I think Last of Us will still win because it's like it's all of the HBO people who have never played PS4, people who have never played or heard of The Last of Us, who are like my parents, who are
parents,
watching
too.
The Last of Us and being like, whoa, this is a really cool thing. And then I get to talk to them about, hey, like, this is what they changed for this episode. Like, this is what is from the game over here. And it's like, it brings that audience in.
It
Hot
is
take.
stupidly incredible.
Hot take, I was never interested.
In The Last of Us?
But were
Either
you
the movie or the show. I mean,
a
sorry.
video game? You never.
The video game or the show. I'm not
What
that interested.
wasn't interesting to you? Or do you just not like zombies?
No. What do you mean do I not like zombies? I
Well,
fucking love zombies.
like I'm sure you like COD zombies, but
Okay,
like
yes,
Walking
true.
Dead zombies.
Yeah, no,
like,
I actually World War Z is an underrated movie. I thought World War Z was actually like
Well, that's
really
the
good.
style of zombies in this show.
No, I understand. it just doesn't interest me. I don't know what
There was
it
a
is.
scene that screwed with me. Like,
Was it the?
no, like, it's just another one, like an infected thing. They have like a rising ground section, and it bursts in one of the cities, and it's literally like World War Z zombies. Like they just file out, and it's like, it's probably like, the survivors of the apocalypse, like with a bunch of military weapons, and they just get gone. And it's done, and it's like that entire sequence is just horrifying, but also
And
so cool that they did.
That's the scene where the bloater comes in, right?
Spoiler, but yes.
I want to talk about it specifically because that was entirely done with practical effects.
Yeah, no,
And
most of the show is done with practical
mild
effects.
amounts of CGI to make the obviously bulky costume look a little more fluid, but it was the majority of it was practical effects. And if you've seen any bit of The Last of Us and seen the zombies and like how they are like designed, it's actually fucking incredible that they can do that with like makeup.
It shows. I mean, it shows the HBO budget. One,
Yeah, no,
but it also shows
yeah.
like the showrunners.
God, if they could do that for fucking Last of Us, why couldn't they do that for any? Like, why would they be throwing money at Velma?
Wait, what? Yeah, what do you
Well, it's
mean?
'cause-
Velma's like one of the best shows ever.
Yeah, it's
Like,
getting a season
Off
2.
this
It's so
podcast.
good.
Is it actually?
Actually,
I've read.
No,
I've
it
read
is. It
something.
is getting a season 2 because it was the highest HBO animated series
yeah,
debut.
because people were clicking on it. You know,
Guys.
Because they're like, this is
No, it
terrible.
is
I wanna
actually
see why,
they're
though.
throwing more money at it and getting a season 2.
hopefully they throw more money at it
What?
and it actually fixes it. Because
What?
It's
God.
not
It
going
won't.
to.
The
though.
writer.
I don't know.
The writer is the
The
problem.
showrunners of Last of Us, though, like side of Velma is like showrunners of Velma have no idea what they're doing. Versus The Last of Us,
They
the
really know the
showrunners
source
have played the
material.
game over three or so times, all the way through both parts. The actors have all played the games. I think Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, or Ramsey, I don't know how to say her last name. They both hadn't played the games, and then right as they got the job, played through all of it, so they knew how to act and they knew how to like do
Oh yeah.
Joel
just
and
talk
Ellie, and that's
about
just
their
fucking
cast
crazy.
As they
well.
should.
Some actors though won't do that.
Oh, I
Some
know.
actors will
No,
just
Most
and I'll-
actors
Halo.
won't do that.
Right.
The Witcher.
Halo.
Yeah, no, fucking. We
Halo
can talk
makes
about
me
we can
so
talk about
sad.
Henry Cavill again, of which he played through all 3 games before he started. Like he got the role as the Witcher, and it was like, okay, I know nothing about this. Give me like 2 weeks. Played through all 3 games to completion, and knew how to be Geralt.
And I think it's amazing because he really does amazing. I mean, we've covered Henry Cavill extensively in the past, but just like it is amazing to see an actor really stand up for what they want.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
and also at the same time, I mean,
Because he knows what the people want.
right.
exactly.
He understands what the people who are watching the show want.
So I have something I just realized that kind of blew my mind. That Pokemon's an adaptation.
Yeah, no, let's go.
I thought of-
Detective Pikachu and stuff.
No, I was thinking about the anime. The animation, I should say. Because the games came out before the animation, and that
You're right.
blows my mind.
I mean, we could talk about Ash. Final,
actually,
Ash is
right?
no longer the main character. They ended the
which
Pokemon
they're still doing animated
Yes, but
things
it's-
for Pokemon.
but it's
But getting
small
away
side
from-
projects now.
I mean,
It is
getting
not a
away from
continuous series.
that series, I think is really good because I even think kids were getting bored of it.
No, Ash has been around for decades, literal decades.
There was that whole thing of like he went back in time and he's supposed to be actually like a 40-year-old hanging around with like 11-year-olds and this weird
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
That they
Well,
were
there's a
doing.
lot of theories around what's actually happening and why is he not aging. But, like,
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, dude like interacts with every legendary dude interacted with God and had a casual conversation with him and just did not care.
I love Pokemon. It's great.
Pokemon
I don't
is
think
such a
I've watched
Great series.
like the anime in a while, but I remember the first couple seasons being just very comfort. It's same thing as like Hunter x Hunter and stuff like
I
that.
have
I
so many
completely
memories.
agree.
I used to sit up in my parents' room with my brother on their bed and watch like the entirety of Ruby and Sapphire. We finished all of Ruby and Sapphire, start to finish. All of the Z version of XY. Finished all of that, and it's something like 100 episodes, just for those two.
Oh my god, though. I just looked it up. 1,230 episodes.
God, oh my
Like-
god.
No, it is ridiculous.
That is bigger than One Piece.
actually no, it's not. Not anymore.
Wait, how many?
Wait. What was 1,000?
1,230.
200? I didn't
Yeah.
hear the 200. Yeah, okay, yes, it's bigger than One Piece.
Yeah, it's huge.
One Piece is at 58, 1,058 right now.
I mean, I'm thinking about it logistically.
Or more.
What if one episode per day for Ash? I mean, that could make sense. He'd only be like, what, 14, 15 by the time he becomes, like, world champion? Like, dang, dude.
Yeah, no, but it's not.
That would also mean that he was like moving so fast every episode.
Yeah, no, he was like,
Well, if dude was riding a legendary Pokemon, I'm sure it's okay.
yeah, no, he met like Ho-Oh in like the second episode or something. It was ridiculous.
It was the first episode.
Well, yeah, it flew over, but Pokemon is such a legendary series at this point. It's gotten
Leighton
Well,
doesn't
that's
have
why-
much say on Pokemon.
I do not. I have watched nothing.
Wait.
Never played a game.
Well, let's switch over then. What is your favorite adaptation then?
I honestly, I don't know. I'm not. I don't consume much in the way of adaptation media. I don't know.
Interesting.
Let's think.
Or like any video games that you've enjoyed.
Video games?
Or video game
Yeah, I
movies
was
that
gonna
you've
say,
enjoyed, I
like,
guess.
I have a lot of
I don't
video
know.
games.
Pixels.
Never watched Pixels.
You've never watched Pixels?
I heard it was bad too.
Pixels was great. I mean,
Okay,
it was
Pixels
it-
was reviewed horribly, but it is a pretty funny movie.
It's a funny movie, but it's not a good movie.
yeah, no,
That's
I
what
enjoyed Pixels.
the whole point of that type of movie is that it makes fun of itself, and it's supposed to be shit because
I enjoyed
it knows it's
Pixels,
shit.
and I unironically have watched it 3 times. So
So,
So there's a wide variety of different opinions on the Pixels movie.
it's a bad movie.
I
It is a bad
personally
movie,
wasn't
but
a
I
big
still
fan of it
enjoyed
and didn't get a whole ton of chuckles out of it. I would have 100% preferred watching Wreck-It Ralph any day.
Ready
Fair
Player
enough.
One.
Ready play. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later though.
Yeah, no. Give it like 10 more minutes. And
I
then
mean,
we'll talk
it's
about
not
Ready Player One.
exactly a video game adaptation. What is that one with World's Sexiest Man? Why can't I think of his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yes,
Free Guy.
Free Guy.
Yeah, it's not a video game adaptation.
It's
though.
Sort of is.
Close.
It's close to like GTA and stuff.
It's close.
Close.
But it
Is-
also references like
It
everything.
references all
I mean,
media. That's the thing. I wouldn't call it an adaptation. It's
It's a
more
pop
like an
culture film.
It's
I'd say.
homage. to-
Homage. I can get that. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not really. I feel it. But seriously, in my opinion, best adaptation I've ever seen. 100%. It's got to be Edge Runners. I don't know what it is. It hits me in all the right places at all the right times. It's just personally
Yeah, Cyberpunk
my
Edge Runners
personal
was a
favorite.
masterpiece.
I don't know. I have to watch it like again. I did watch it by myself, and it was just like, I don't know. I've never really liked Studio Trigger. I never really liked the bullet hell animes where like just so much is going on in one screen.
Well, I think that's really only like the first episode, and then episode 4, and then
Studio
like last
Trigger has a
episode.
style
Well,
that
yeah,
often ends up in the bullet hell style. They
it's
like
the
a
same
lot
with
of
like
things
their
going
their
on
Star
really
Wars
quickly.
stuff. Like that.
I
was,
loved Star Wars Episode 4. It was still my fucking favorite. Star Wars Visions Episode 4.
Oh,
was my-
That wasn't
yes,
my
it
favorite. The
was
one
so
with
good.
the samurai with the red saber. That was my favorite. That was the shit.
I loved the twins because it just hit all of my buttons. They're fighting on a Star Destroyer, and the ending thing is him fucking going light speed and severing a Star Destroyer in half. Like, you can't get that from normal Star
That's
Wars
true.
canon.
But also, the moment of him pulling out and you
No.
see it's just red
That-
instead of
that
any
is-
other color
that
is just
actually really fucking good.
because he's
Can
a
we all
Sith
agree
hunter.
Episode C? Can we all agree Episode 3, the band?
I don't think
kinda
they
sucked?
have watched that. You have never watched it.
We gotta watch Star Wars Visions.
You would love that episode. The
There
first
is
one.
so
It's
much
it would
media.
it would
Star Wars Visions.
absolutely make you.
How many episodes is it? 8?
8 episodes.
8 episodes, 8 different animation studios.
Oh, I knew that. I know background about it. I just haven't watched it. I don't know.
It's very-
I think
we should
I-
watch it this week.
I have a stigma against video game movies. I think is
Talk
the
to me
thing.
about it then. What do you
Well,
think?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I look at it and it just disinterests me because I'm like, why would I go watch this when I can go enjoy the original experience, I suppose.
Well,
That's not even the right way. I don't know. I just have never really watched anything. I guess Uncharted would be the only one, and
Uncharted
that was a mid adaptation. Great movie, mid adaptation. So I wouldn't categorize it as my favorite adaptation. I would have to remember something.
I think
Like-
stuff that I mean, shows can always be subjective, where it's like you have the TV show, and if there's no game tied to it or there's nothing that came first, you can't really mess it up canon wise. Versus like
anything Star Wars.
Star Wars was
anything
cool, is like-
fucking Halo.
right, you're adding to the media and games and all that is coming out are adding to the thing, and that's what I see it as. It's like, sure, I can go back and I can play The Witcher 3 and I can enjoy The Witcher 3, but also I get to see somebody play out the events like on screen, because it's like in the moment of playing the video game you don't get those cutscenes, you don't get the badass like Geralt's like holding his sword and then just cutting down one guy like all the way in half in the first couple episodes of the Netflix series.
Actually, I'd probably say The Witcher season 1 is probably my favorite.
Yeah, no,
So the Netflix
season 1. It's usually with these adaptations that go into shows. Season 1, like, great. If they push it, that's when it starts to get.
Season 2 was all right of The Witcher as well, because
It was all right, but it wasn't great.
well, no,
I
it was.
think-
I just haven't finished it.
I understand where Layton's coming from, where it's like you want to experience the original thing. My issue, not issue, but like my opinion to that changes a little bit when it comes to adaptations that are in the same universe, not the same characters or not the same anything like that. For example, Arcane or something like that. It deals with some of the same characters, yes, some of the same world, but completely different story than you've ever really heard before.
It's a
Which
new
I think-
story with the characters.
I think
Same with Cyberpunk, though.
let me edit what I said earlier. It's not necessarily that I want to play the original thing. It's just, I don't know, there's a lack of interest for me. I have trouble starting things in the first place. That's like my biggest problem with everything, is starting something. Whenever I start something, then I'm good. But like, I go on to say Hulu and I see Resident Evil, I'm not gonna watch it.
Resident
No.
Evil was not great.
And it depends, in my opinion. Like, for me, it
I heard
depends
the
on...
adaptation.
Yeah, the adaptation.
Sorry, I was like,
No, Resident Evil is fucking legendary. Why would I? It's just, oh yeah, man, I'm not Nick Schroeder.
I would
That's fair.
also stipulate that my circumstances throughout my life, my circumstances have been that like I'll be able to like watch something and then decide not to at the time, and then later at a later point if I want to go back and watch it, can't. For example, like Arcane and stuff, I haven't watched it because I can't.
'Cause it's
I
on
don't have
Netflix,
Netflix.
right.
Yeah, I don't have Netflix. Why don't I have Netflix? Because of a whole conversation I don't want to get into right now. Anyway,
Side
point
note.
is I don't have Netflix, and that's a big purveyor for a lot of stuff like that. A lot of things like that, like Arcane, Cyberpunk, like shows that are good, that are video game adaptations, are generally pooled there, and elsewhere doesn't have them. Like Hulu doesn't have that, which I have Hulu.
I think the other thing is like starting stuff is just a really big like
Yeah.
Caleb, one of our hometown friends, for every single anime that I have ever had him watch, until he had watched enough where it was just like, okay, so I like anime, I'm gonna watch anime by myself. It was like I had to force him every single day. I'd get to school and I'd be like, so you watched the episode, and it was Attack on Titan, and then it was Demon Slayer, and then it was like so mainstream stuff, and it was like it would take him like 2 weeks to start the very first episode. Right as he had started the first episode, he would finish the series in like 3 days, and it was like
That's
how
about
I-
what I would do.
Yeah, that's
I-
where it
about
goes.
I watched over quarantine and stuff. I watched so much anime, like consistently, that I think I've burnt myself out of anime, and I can't start series like I used to. Like I used to literally go onto Crunchyroll, look through like the action or adventure or romance tabs, and like scroll through it and be like, okay, what catches my eye? What catches my eye? Boop, you look cool. Watch the whole thing.
One thing about that is that you have the time.
I
it's
still
a lot
have the
less.
time.
Okay, but
I still
do
very much
you-
have the time.
Oh, you very much have the time, but you don't very much have the time to do other things with
Like
other
editing
people.
the
editing
episode.
videos
Huh? What?
for Saturday. Eden, Responsibilities, Aiden.
So, Leighton,
Ooh,
one of the reasons this is just an idea that popped up. You can shoot me down, absolutely. Do you associate video game adaptations with Netflix?
Not necessarily, but let's name them: The Witcher, Crunchyroll. I was gonna say, Cyberpunk Edgerunners,
Arcane.
What else is on Netflix that's a video game adaptation? Like,
Actually, I should honestly look up. Where
I've never watched any of the Halo stuff.
Halo was on Peacock. It wasn't on Netflix.
Okay.
Halo was only on Peacock.
Well, I'm not talking about like Halo that one. I'm ignoring it. I'm talking about like Red versus Blue.
Red vs. Blue was on Netflix.
Red vs. Blue was
That's
fucking
not-
Red vs.
awesome
Blue is
thing.
also on YouTube. Though,
It's not on
so.
Hulu. Yeah, okay, but
It got its license on.
Yeah, it didn't.
Netflix.
Okay,
pop,
that's fair.
it didn't pop in my head to go and look up Red
Well,
versus
one
Blue
of the
on
ideas, it was just an idea. If you dislike Netflix and you associate video game adaptations
No,
with Netflix,
it's
then
not
you
an
might.
association thing. It's just that they happen to be there more often than they are
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Okay, I get you. Yeah.
There's a lot coming to Netflix 2023. The Assassin's Creed movie, the Tomb Raider movie. Which the Tomb Raider movie, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've loved Tomb Raider. It's one of my favorite games ever.
haven't.
So I saw this in it was coming up in theaters. It was halfway through, I think, middle school, and I took my friends. We went to see it. It is such a memory in my brain that feels like I was on a different planet when we were watching this movie. It was like, what is going on? How am I watching this? And it follows the first game, but it was so weird.
You know,
It was
I
such
feel
a
the same way.
strange movie.
There is this weird time in the past when I think about it, like Age Retsuko. It is this really interesting anime type thing. I like it a lot, but when I think back to watching it, it just feels weird in retrospect. Fully, I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I went through an isekai phase. I feel that.
Yes.
It's on.
I watched a lot of shit isekai.
I should try to get you guys to watch it.
Is Fate a video game adaptation?
Hold on.
That's a good.
Grand Order? Yes.
Okay, I didn't watch Grand Order.
Grand Order was actually pretty good.
I started watching it. I never
Quetzalcoatl's
got-
fight was fucking really
I started
cool.
watching it. I didn't watch the whole.
Fate-
Fate is.
The original?
Yeah.
Okay. Fate,
Oh yeah, because there were
Fate's
fucking
probably,
visual novels.
Fate's probably one of my favorite.
Oh my god,
video game adaptations of all time,
Ufotable
then.
picked up the animators Demon Slayer would be a more recognizable thing to tie them with, but they picked up Fate well before Demon Slayer, obviously, because it hadn't been created from some random visual novels.
Oh yeah.
that were a little weird, to be honest, but they picked it up and created some of the most beautiful fight scenes in all of anime.
Yeah, Fate is probably one of
still
my favorite series.
they sit near the top compared to they're up there with, obviously it's Demon Slayer 2 because it's still Ufotable, but some of the greatest fight scenes and greatest scenes ever come from
Entertainment
Fate.
District, Demon Slayer.
No, that
was
Ufotable
so
is an
good.
amazing.
It
was
was
so good.
Ufotable is an amazing company, and a lot of Fate's fight scenes are just like that.
Oh, it's crazy.
All the
They
time.
just need to update their logo.
Yeah, no,
Seriously.
they did actually.
Really? Let me
No,
see it.
that was their old logo. So for those who don't know, back in the day, Ufotable's logo
already have that
used
in the
to.
video.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Ufotable's logo used to be an MS Paint with a little frog clip art that said Ufotable. It was so funny that they were the greatest animation studio and had the
What's their
crappiest
current
graphic
one?
design.
Their current one it's similar. It's not the same. Though.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
still not
this.
great, but
It's this. Ethan.
Oh,
it's not great.
no frog. Just still.
No frog.
Still the
They're
same.
missing the
same
frog.
style.
The same thing without a frog.
But,
But,
my God, Fate, Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Feel,
Stay Night's
all
so
of them
good.
were so good. Fate Zero, I never watched
Zero was pretty awesome too, and I watched Zero first before watching the original.
because
Fate.
it's the first one in the timeline. There's a whole
Yeah.
fucking timeline. in
Yes,
these
it's the
things.
first one on the timeline, but there's stuff I missed because I watched it first. I should have started at Fate the original, then went to Fate Zero, and then everything else, because there's some things that are there that hit me. I was like, oh, in rewatching Fate the original after Fate Zero, I was like, damn. It was interesting. It was really cool.
I've watched. I think the only one I've watched is I've watched Fate Stay Night and Fate Grand Order. Grand Order is animated by a different. Is Fate Grand Order still by Ufotable?
Check your
I'm not
docs, by the way, Aiden. I think. I don't know. I feel like movie adaptations, game adaptations can always be one way or the other. where it's either really, really bad because the creators didn't do their work and didn't do their job, or because honestly, what I think about Tomb Raider,
the book was better.
which will be us in like point, like I don't even know how long.
Yeah, in 0.2 seconds.
Or
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Harry Potter.
J.K. Rowling.
No, we can't talk about that right now.
Fako was not animated by Ufotable. It was animated by Cloverworks.
Thank you.
I didn't watch
you.
all the way through.
But yeah, I think like the Tomb Raider movie. Honestly, again, games that y'all have to play, like the
I played Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider Rise of Tomb Raider. You have to play.
Neat.
That one is the best game out of the series.
No, I think I
you?
did play Rise of
What'd you think?
Is it the first one?
It's the second one.
First one in the
I still need to
series.
play all
Oh, wait,
of them.
no. I think I did.
The first game, you crash land on an island out of a yacht, and it blah blah blah.
That one, yeah, I played.
The second
I
game
played that too.
is crazy. It is like one of my favorite gaming experiences that I will ever go through.
I
Period.
think it's the
favorite game of all
is
time.
the third game the snowy one?
The second game is the snow.
Okay,
game,
I
where you
stopped
start
in the
a
middle
snowy-
of the snowy one.
Dude, you have
Not in the
to-
middle. It was like that halfway end. piece
The
of it.
entire like first section is the snow game.
I played both of them on the Google Stadia.
What?
Dang,
You got your
what?
hands to the Google
I'm
Stadia?
dead serious.
Wait, I have so many questions. Is it true that it's just a software?
Yes. It is just a software.
what do you run
I
it
literally
on?
I take my Chromecast. I had a Chromecast at my house. I take a Chromecast, plug it in, grab the Stadia controller, turn it on, connect.
It's
Done.
it's cloud gaming.
It's
That's
it's,
so
it
weird.
is-
Nvidia actually has the same thing with the Nvidia GeForce Experience.
That's crazy.
You can play all sorts of different games, cloud gaming on like better PCs.
I played both of them on the Canadian border in a cabin while in the middle of winter while we were on a snowmobile trip
That's fucking great.
That's
though.
amazing.
with the Stadia. It was awesome. It was awesome. It's just that Google sucks. So.
I think
Yeah, no.
that
did you hear
game.
did you hear what happened with the Stadia when it went down?
I
don't know if I have.
It was like
All your purchases got refunded to your Google Play account with a time limit in which they would expire.
Yeah, it was
That's
BS.
nuts.
It was BS.
After you spent like $300 on it, you got all $300 refunded back to your Google Play account, but
Oh my
only your Google Play
God.
account, and then it expires after 2 weeks.
that's bullshit.
Yeah, no,
But-
that's ridiculous.
To finish that Tomb Raider thing is like the first game follows her. She's trying to find an island, and there's this whole thing of like the kind of stereotypical like
Yeah.
this island has like this curse, and like if you get too close, then you'll crash. Blah blah blah. And sure enough, she crashes, and so you have to find your friends and blah blah blah. And then you're on this island, and something starts like happening weird, and the whole reason why she's there is she's looking for this witch. And this ancient Japanese like myth that this woman was buried because she had the ability to just kill everything she touched, and so they literally just nope, put you away. And she went willingly because she was literally killing her family and friends by just hugging them. Like she couldn't even touch people, and so you go as a Tomb Raider to raid the tomb. And sure enough, there's this other company that's trying to find this tomb because if they can harness the power, blah, 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 blah.
Uncharted.
Shut up. And they did that in this movie where it's that exact same storyline. And they did that entire... Like, they did the Japanese... it might be Chinese. I don't know. It's one or the other... But it's
think
a
it's
queen.
Japanese. I think it's
I
Japanese.
believe it's
It's
Japanese.
the Japanese sun something or whatever.
It's a queen who has the ability to do that, and they put it in this movie, and like it's just really good. It was a really good section, but I remember the movie being a little wonky, and it's like when you can stay true to the stuff, you can typically get in the right direction of video game
Yeah.
adaptations. Tomb Raider I could talk about for I don't
Stay,
even know
like
how long.
That was a fun
baseline,
game.
stay true to the game.
You both need to play that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You
yeah.
have it.
Tomb
You
Raider
motherfucker,
really
you have it.
I have it too. I played Rise of Tomb Raider, but I need to.
Rise is so
I think I
good.
got-
No,
Just
not
after-
Rise of Tomb Raider. I played well, it was the first game, the first remake.
Just yeah.
Was that Rise of Tomb Raider?
No, that's just
No,
No,
Tomb
that's
Raider
just the remake.
2016.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider
That's Tomb
2016.
Raider.
I also played
Definitive
Tomb Raider
edition.
2016, and I
Yeah.
really
It
liked
has the quintessential like Uncharted thing where one of my favorite ones is like you have to pass this tomb to get to the story and stuff, and it's this giant ship that's falling down a cavern that you have to climb up to get to the top, and like It's
Dude,
so
those two
good.
games, Uncharted and Rise of the Tomb Raider, have just this feel about them that's so just fun.
Rise
so
of Tomb
fun.
Raider's combat is beautiful. I remember my moment with my family of my mom has commented on how good I am with video games. I'll walk into the library. We have a library, guys. Yeah, okay.
Damn.
Well, I would walk into our living room and my mom's playing either Tomb Raider, because she went through all the Tomb Raider games, or Batman or something, and my mom gets stuck on a boss for like 2-3 hours, and I go up, one-shot it in 2 minutes. And it's like, she would give me the controller and be like, Ethan, just show me how to do it. And then I would complete it, and she'd be like, God damn it, no! And like get really like fake mad. But it was like this whole thing where I remember the thing that connected my like love for talking about games and like being good at games is my family endorsed that stuff and they enjoyed that I enjoyed it. And I remember sitting playing Rise and just going off and like shooting, like I'm doing all these things, it's really cool. And like my mom from the back of the kitchen said to my dad, like, honey, you gotta watch this kid. Like, he's crazy. Like, look at him. Like, he's so good.
Dude,
and it was just
I
like
wish.
such
My
a
mother
dopamine.
my mother says, I hate Mario Kart because it's too difficult.
I used to have
Mario
family
Kart is difficult though. I will give her
Hey,
that.
fucking yo.
It can be as a kid at least, not now.
Dude,
Eh,
I unironically
200cc.
would play 200cc.
200cc.
Well,
mirror.
I'm
200
good at
cc.
200cc.
And the 200cc isn't even like it involves. It's a different type of thing.
Yeah,
it
it's a
doesn't feel
speedrunners
like.
thing.
No, it doesn't even feel like that. It doesn't. It's just.
It just feels like a challenge.
It doesn't even feel like a challenge. It's just dog.
I finally understood how to play it. And
Like
I figured it out.
I understand how to play it too. I was very good at it. I still prefer 150.
I prefer
Game's
150. I just like playing 200cc because it's funny to watch everyone fall off while I'm going like zipping around the track.
Bruh.
Anyways, Leighton.
I was
Are
going
we
to say
gonna-
that it was
We'll
funny
take a break after this.
that it was the only game that my family ever played with me. My two parents. My mom never played a game with me because
What game?
It was NHL 2013, 2012.
Oh, that's another sports games. My dad would play sports games with me all the time.
Okay,
we used
games are-
adaptations.
No, we're not gonna get into that.
I mean, dude,
we used to have family game
NHL
nights of Mario
NHL
Kart.
is the best sports game. Period. I mean, you can fight me on this. I mean, like if you're going with an actual sports game,
you are
NHL
right.
is the fucking best.
You are right.
Madden's good. NHL is so much better, but
I got a
that's a
NHL
different story.
NHL
That's
is
probably
the
because
only
my
one
dad
I've
actually
ever
played
played.
that one with me. I think we played he would play Call of Duty once with me, and that was about it. And nothing else. Everything else was just me figuring it out.
I mean, seriously, that's probably why Diablo 3 is one of my favorite games ever. Also, you are
You're
bleeding,
bleeding,
my
yeah.
guy.
I just noticed this. Hold on.
Okay.
You like
Aiden.
rubbed it too, and I was like, no.
I think this is a great time to take a break.
And we're back.
we're
Red light. Hi guys, welcome back.
Hi guys, we're back.
Beautiful people.
Honestly, if you want to, just jump right in.
So our
You
second
got it.
topic is much shorter than our original one, and it was simply book adaptations to movies.
And you
or
know what's funny?
Maybe even video games.
Because
but-
there are so many more book adaptations than there are video game adaptations.
No, there's a lot.
Just quick fire. Do you guys have any favorites?
I would
can't
say
think of one.
Witcher. Witcher is straight off. Like I love the Witcher series.
Yep.
Maze
Agreed.
Runner as well.
I have a
all
most.
of my
I-
favorite books.
I'm
don't
gonna
have
just look it
movies.
I have a
Oh,
least favorite.
Shawshank Redemption. Probably got to be my favorite.
Never watched or read Shawshank Redemption.
Damn.
That was one I was actually. That's on my list to read or watch.
There's a ton of like.
I have a least favorite.
What's that?
The Order of the Phoenix movie.
You hated that movie that much.
Because the disparity between the fucking book and the movie is night and day. It is ridiculous. Also, the Aragorn
Oh my
movie.
gosh, really?
It's
No.
horrendous.
Oh my gosh, Percy Jackson.
They're actually redoing
I'm sorry.
that.
I'm sorry.
There's
The
no
Lightning
more-
Thief was
I
good.
told you. I went to school with the person who's playing Percy Jackson.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
in the new one or the old
in the
one?
new one. He what's his name? He also played in the Atom Project.
Oh, dude, that kid is great.
Yeah, I went to school with him.
Was
I
he
was his
cool?
tutor for Spanish.
That's actually fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You should connect and like.
Let's get him on the
Oh, he's
podcast.
probably not gonna remember me now. He'd probably be like, "Oh, you're that one super stupid guy who like tried to teach me Spanish and I couldn't even change the last things in the conjugations. I'm like,
Yeah, good job, dude.
No,
I'm
not
sorry.
me.
You
It was
should.
him.
Do you have him on social media or?
oh yeah, he doesn't follow me, but
Oh.
I'm sorry. The Lightning Thief movie, as different as it was from the book, was still like looking back. I was like, damn, that's actually a pretty good movie.
No, the Lightning Thief
No.
and the Sea of Monsters
Yes.
were
No.
they were enjoyable movies.
Sea of
They were
Monsters?
nothing like the fucking
See,
books.
no, I agree.
oh,
I'm just saying
Scoble.
the movie
Well, yeah, Walker
as
Scobell.
its own, not Sea of Monsters, just the Lightning Thief.
I enjoyed the Sea of Monsters more than the Lightning.
Yeah, that's because you're insane.
No, because it was like, what are you doing on my boat?
True.
That was fucking that line delivery was fucking hilarious.
Let's see what else is there.
Oh, that's so cool though.
well, I think the most prominent among us and the ones we have the most opinions about is Ready Player One.
Yeah,
At least me and
that's for you two.
That's
I
for-
just want to talk about it really quick.
So,
In the movie, how would it theoretically have taken, I don't know, 10 years to figure out?
oh god.
No. It wasn't. Yeah. 5 years. Let's say 5 years because I think that was 5 years.
Yeah.
Why would it have taken 5 years to figure out you can drive backwards in
It
a
would be the
race?
first 3 hours somebody would
dude,
attempt to go back
it
or some
would be
direction.
me. I'd be like,
No,
what
but-
if I?
No,
fucked
the
up?
first rule of speedrunning, or like trying to figure out glitches in a game, is if something's related to something important, you walk around the edges of the screen.
Yeah.
That is.
And it's also you have to like make it, the fact that you have to make stuff up for this movie is like, well, maybe he had to go to the thing where he watches that little clip where it tells him what to do, and that's the key to making. No, Artemis, the one of his friends, just drives backwards for the next thing and gets it. So it's like
It just.
dog, like,
Oh.
and also the first one is one of the coolest goddamn things.
It is so good in the book,
It's
especially
set-
for fucking book and like just for
actually-
nerds. Just for nerds, it's so nice because it involves all aspects of nerddom. It involves D&D. It involves classic old timey video games. It involves fucking Latin. Like
What I think is the best thing, like, it's stuff like the whole thing is like you play Joust with a lich, and like that's fucking awesome. But also this the other thing is the fact that the first trial is on the planet Ludos, or is it Lumos or Ludos?
Ludos.
Ludos, which is the school planet, which means legitimately everyone has access to it, versus this one is like, sure, the portal is access to everyone, but you have to have a good car, you have to be fast enough, and sure, you can drive backwards, but like that's the whole concept of the first thing is like you're supposed to have these things, and on Ludos is like he has no money, he like goes out and he just kills level 1 goblins for like 5 hours to try to get just enough coin to get back to his home.
Penisville the Kobold Slayer.
What?
Yeah, that's what they called him. That's what IROC
Oh right.
calls him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. And then oh my god. And then
IROC.
They just fuck. They
It is legit. So the thing is, whenever I talk to someone who hasn't read the book or read the book after watching the movie, they're like, "Yeah, it was pretty good. Like I enjoyed the movie a lot." And I'm like, "Yes, but for people who like, I mean, like us
it's
who
an enjoyable.
obsessed,
Yeah, it's an enjoyable movie by itself.
yes, it
But-
is.
Having the knowledge of the book and all the things that were changed, it's like, I mean, I quite literally, I think the section with the game,
Oh
like the
my
first
God,
trial is my
yes.
favorite.
Yeah, it legitimately is fantastic. And then you get into some of the coolest things. I wish they had done this for the second trial. When they have this thing where they invent a new type of video game where you are in a movie voice acting your favorite characters from the movie.
Oh,
And
right.
It gives you
And they do like what is it?
like a point system and things like that. And if you mess
the
up too
movie?
much, and they do war games.
Oh right.
They
And
do
I-
war games.
War Games is such a good movie.
Yeah, no, they do war games. They do why am I blanking on the movie? It's the Night in the Holy Grail or
Monty Python.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Grail is so fucking funny.
And you have to like it's even tone. You have to get the tone right to get those extra points and stuff. And like oh my god, the
What
third
is your favorite color?
you
A
actually
shrubbery.
I haven't watched. Okay,
You must
I
cut down
haven't
the
watched-
branches tree in the forest with a herring. It's so
I
fucking
haven't
funny.
watched Monty. Python.
You're fucking kidding
Okay,
me.
we're
So
watching
that's why
Monty
it went
Python
just
this
right
week.
over my head.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
We're
good.
watching Monty Python this week.
Yeah, we're
The
walking.
thing
It's
is, like,
I
so
watched
fucking
it in
good.
the
history
third,
class.
it's not the third
In
trial.
history
We
class?
had to write a paper on the differences between real history and Monty Python.
Your history teacher is a G. Just saying.
It was Mr. O'Rourke.
It's also other stuff of like the third trial is supposed to be the end all be all where it's in the castle on the basically PvP map. It's like everyone goes there and everyone fights.
And then
that's
the
just all
big
it
bad
is.
corporation is just, dominating this area, and
They've
they're
like
trying
put up
to
a
figure out.
bubble so that no one can get through, and if you try to get through, you get instantly zeroed, and it's like that was there. It was there, sure, but also like they don't even have the doing the Gundam like Parzival
Oh
does
my
this,
gosh,
and
that
like,
would have
it
been so
beams out of
cool,
his
dude.
arms and kills the dude, and it's like this
Oh.
fucking awesome scene.
Final thing I want to bring up about Ready Player One: Shoto and Daito. They were two characters, brothers in the
Actually,
the
that's another
book,
thing.
and they're fantastic. And this is a spoiler. If you don't want to hear spoilers, just skip a little bit. But
But what if I don't?
one
want
of
to
the
spoil
brothers. Don't want spoilers? I won't spoil them.
it? No, go ahead. Okay.
All right. One of the brothers gets killed by
Right,
the
that's
evil
exactly
corporation,
what I was gonna say.
and it's just one half of this really powerful duo gets chopped down, and it's just one of the brothers, and he is
In real life.
in real
not-
life he gets killed, like in real life, murdered by the corporation. And instead of it being these two duos, Shoto and Daito, and they're called Daisho, it's just named after the Japanese blades, which is so cool. It's just cut down to one of them. Like, it legitimately emphasizes how important of a thing it was. And they just decided, oh, no, we're just going to name the guy Sho in the movie.
There were two of them.
No, there was one.
No, I remember two.
What do you mean?
There
I
was
remember
only
two.
one guy. Oh, was it Sho and Daito?
It was Sho and Daito, but they're still alive.
They're still alive in the end. But also, by the way, why would you just shorten it to Sho? Why?
It's like the whole part is like it's
That
both
is like the
blades.
biggest gentrification I have ever heard. I'm like, you have Daito, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
but
it
Shoto?
is
Whoa.
Sho and Daito.
Like, that makes no sense, because then it totally gets rid of the connotation of them being a pair of swords together. Like,
It's
that's
also
just crazy to me.
I honestly, they did Daito and Shoto very well in the movie, of at least the beginning of where like they're on the planet Doom and like they're two Japanese samurai just fucking shit up, like full on going through and like double teaming people, and it's like it's so cool. But then like one of the most important things of that scene is how devastating Daito's death is, and like it's played on cameras in all of their headsets of where he's on the top of his tower playing, and then there's a knock at the door. Daito opens it, and it's 4 guards that rush in, grab him, and just chuck him off the building. And it's like this whole thing that is like super fucking crazy in the moment, and Shoto like freaks out.
Legitimately
and,
one of the best scenes in the entire book. Like,
right, and
it
it's
is.
in the moment of as well, like that happening is like before Daito gets zeroed out. In game, he's fighting his last ditch effort, and he goes into the huge mech that we see in the movie,
Which is
they
timed,
added.
and he knows that his character will die if he does this. type
Right,
thing,
and it's like he goes out punching, like I think he takes down one of the big guys or something.
He takes
He
down,
fights
yeah.
Mechagodzilla.
in the
Yeah.
movie. I don't know what it is in the book. I can't remember. But it's this great scene where it's like, guys, like there's people at my door. I don't think I'm gonna get out. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I believe in all of you guys. Like, get this done. And he zeroes out, like going out fighting, and then that happens, and they just took that away. And it was just so draining to see that.
I will say one thing too. It disappointed me so much. It was a Spielberg movie. I have never seen
I like
Spielberg
Spielberg.
miss this much.
That's fair, actually.
Like, that's
think-
so
agreed.
disappointing to
And
me.
also, if you watch the extra credit stuff that they had on the
At
end of
least
the
it wasn't
movie,
M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh,
M. Night Shyamalan
Avatar.
has some good movies.
No,
he
he did the Avatar
Yeah,
thing.
but he has. If you look up,
No,
he did.
he has good movies at the beginning of his career.
He did. He did Knock at the Cabin, which just came out. He did Glass.
Knock at the Cabin did not get reviewed well.
yeah, like
Knock
old
at the
was
Cabin
not
was
good.
Glass.
Like-
Glass was great. I loved Glass.
I have never seen any of
Glass
these
and
movies.
Glass.
You've never seen
split-
The Sixth Sense?
No, I've seen that.
Okay.
Yeah,
The Sixth Sense was awesome. Signs was awesome.
I've never seen
And then he
Signs.
just miss.
But yeah,
Oh,
that's
dang.
a side thing. Steven, like, he, even for the VR stuff, like, they had entire buildings, I mean, it's Steven Spielberg, set up to specifically talk and describe how these, like, they had H's,
Van.
what's it called? He had his van, but also his, his place that he builds stuff with the Iron Giant. His I don't know
his
what they call
shop.
it.
Yeah.
They had his shop in real life, but nothing was in that building that they were doing. They just had it all in virtual reality so that you could go in and modify things in CGI and stuff. And, like, sure, the movie is, like, a fucking crazy reference. It's just all of it is you go in, you can
It's
find
just
Tracer
reference,
from Overwatch. Like,
reference.
it's and that's great. That's cool to see, like, your favorite characters fighting alongside each other, but, like, and technically they're being operated by humans, but it's that when you focus too much on drilling in all those references, you miss the very first. And
That's
legitimately,
why I think the
first
Mario
book.
movie is going to be kind of vulnerable in that sense.
But that's the thing, is, like, the Mario movie doesn't have anything stacked up against it. Where the book
True.
had very important things that they needed to go for. Mario could, like, they could play fucking Mario Kart all movie, and people would be like, oh, well, this is kind of how Mario does stuff. So, like, it
At the
works.
same time, too, though, they are free range. There's no Mario book. There's
Yeah.
no. I mean, they
No, but I
can
feel
literally do whatever they
Yeah,
want.
legitimately.
The point I'm trying to get at is they're going to jam pack so much fucking Mario references and lore into that fucking movie that I'm
Aiden,
a
tell me
little
about the
worried.
Mario lore really quick.
I think honestly the Mario movie will be a example of how references can be a lot but not overwhelm, because I think it's going to be a lot of background stuff that you don't focus on, where it's more of like we're looking at a lot of pictures and like you see all of the Toads doing different like 3D world stuff, or
Yeah.
you see like maybe there's going to be there 100% will be a Luigi's Mansion reference.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't,
Oh, yeah.
that's going to be fucked up. But we'll probably just see the mansion in the background or something.
The
It's
Mario
probably gonna
lore.
it's going to be a post-credit scene for a second movie.
Mario lore.
The Mario lore is just the American Legend of Zelda movie or show.
What?
The American Legend
You
of
don't
Zelda
know about-
show.
Dog, I'm never showing that to
Well,
any
excuse
of you guys.
By the way,
It's me,
that
princess.
was my introduction to Zelda. The Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
No, you mean the American thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like the little clips that they would put in the fucking show.
No
Oh,
way.
for like
Where you
ads
do
of
shitty
the
90s
Zelda one.
animated show.
It was
It
like
was so
basically Link was like a misogynist and like a really bad human being, and it was just
I've seen
Yeah.
some of these clips.
It
Yeah.
was
it's the whole
horrible.
excuse me, princess. It's
Like, have you
that
seen
entire
the
thing.
terminal montage of the
Yes.
Breath of the Wild speedrun?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
reference where he goes, well, excuse
It's me, princess.
It's
me,
finish
princess.
it, Aiden.
me,
I'm gonna have to edit that entire section.
Yes.
God.
No, make it longer. Make it fucking longer.
Oh my god, I keep it going. Animated.
Yeah,
Was
Legend
it
of Zelda.
80s or 90s?
89.
That.
So,
Oh yeah,
pretty
I've
much
seen
90s.
it. Yeah, I've seen some of it before.
Oh my god, fucking robot.
Dun,
Also,
dun,
that
they
show-
have a manga for Twilight Princess, and it's actually quite
Oh
good.
yeah, I've thought about
God,
buying
Twilight
it in
Princess.
bars before.
Side tangent, Twilight Princess remake and then Wind Waker remake would break the eShop.
I will say though, one of the
What?
best book adaptations I've seen recently is Dune. Oh,
Dune
yeah.
was so good. Oh, there's so much in
No,
there.
even like having read the book, like the first book, it hits everything exactly how the book does.
Have you gone on your normal rabbit hole tangent for Dune?
Yeah.
Let's
So
not.
you understand why it is that they don't use futuristic guns and
Yes.
shit.
Yes.
Okay. Because of the whole thing about their shield systems, it's so fucking cool.
Oh, it's so cool.
And the fact that they play it so well in the movie with like the bombs slowing down and then going through the shield.
Oh,
and
yeah.
going- It's not because the bombs are slowing down. It's because the bomb. Well, I mean, it's not because the shield is holding them. It's because the fucking
What are we
bombs
talking
are.
about? I'm so confused.
Dune.
Have you seen Dune the movie?
I've never.
Have you read the
Dune?
book either?
The movie.
Dune.
Yes.
Dune.
Dune.
Dune. Dune. Like
Oh,
sand
the one that with Chalamet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't. I never.
It's needed.
Dude,
It's so
fucking.
good.
It's Last of Us for me. Dune never interested me.
dune. Me neither.
Dune is
I'm
so-
not. So,
I-
I'm
I-
not interested.
I never
honestly,
read the
I
book.
want to. Though.
I never read the
like,
book.
It sort of interests me.
Wow,
Hey,
that's actually impressive.
I agree.
I think it's time to wrap it up because we've been doing this for a long time and most of us
That's
have
fair.
stuff to do.
That is actually very fair.
True.
I believe we're going to wrap this podcast up for tonight. Thank you all for joining us.
It was
Any
fun.
final
I liked
thoughts?
this one. It's been a while since about a couple.
Why
weeks
did you
since
become
we-
a carnival barker?
Carnival?
What?
Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you guys for joining us.
We're Cuphead here.
Adaptations, the Cuphead Show. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
End the stream.
Let's add another one. The Last of Us and Cuphead for me. Cuphead does not interest me in the slightest.
You're so bad.
But
I
yeah.
disagree.
So mid.
Cuphead.
You're so mid.
Cuphead looks interesting. I just haven't watched it.
Okay.
But
Cuphead is like Hunter x Hunter to me. Sorry, I can't. Cuphead, you guys know.
Hunter x Hunter, Dune versus Cuphead and The Last of Us.
I'll watch Dune if you watch Cuphead or Last of Us.
I will watch The Last of Us. No, actually, never mind. How about you do it if I do Batman or Arkham?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll play that.
You have to
instead.
play all the way through though.
all right.
I'm playing Vampire Survivors. Great game.
I could play
We'll deal with this
playing
off
Kyoshin
stream.
Right.
on
Thank
Bye,
you for
Prime.
joining
guys.
us tonight, and remember, we are always here Sundays on 9:30
Bye.
Eastern Time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Adios, beautiful people.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
The Markiplier.
Bye bye.
Bye.